So yeah, tell us a little bit about the band. Where did you get started? How do you know each other?
The name. I'm curious on the name.
Okay, cool.
Scott and myself met really early on. It was the summer between grade 8 and grade 9. And we played.
What year would that have been, Joe? No.
Oh, geez.
So we can date ourselves.
Was that like 2008?
I think, yeah. It was a little over I think it's 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah. It's been a really long time. And we were introduced by a mutual friend who was the current bass player at that time, actually, our old friend Cam. And Scott let me be in the band because he thought I was competent. So I did a good job of fooling him. And then
Joe played Eruption. So that was it.
Yeah. I played Eruption for him, and it was like, well, this guy is obviously worth ruining my life by trying to be a musician over. And we played god awful white boy funk for like way too long in that format.
Way too long.
And then Spencer, when Spencer joined, it was probably 2016, and we were still operating under the pseudonym of Ralph.
Ralph?
And he had Ralph.
Yeah, we used to be called Ralph.
Okay.
That was the name of the band from day one.
And then PH.
PH.
Yeah, PH. Yeah.
Oh, the fancy one. Okay.
Yeah, the classy way of doing it.
Little tangent. Luckily, around the same time, we were realizing that Ralph was not a great band name. We also caught wind of another Canadian artist based out of Toronto who was starting to use the name Ralph, and she was like so much more popular than us at the time. And we actually started getting emails from Factor about like getting accepted to South by Southwest. And we're like, whoa, this is awesome. And I was talking to Dale, I was like, man, I didn't know you applied for this, but this is awesome. We're gonna go to South by Southwest, government's paying for it, woohoo. And then we found out that Ralph was not in fact us. Our name had been taken from us. And
unceremoniously.
Yeah. So then we kind of had to change our name after that anyways, but we were kind of losing our affinity for it along the way.
Yeah, at that point, Spencer had joined within I think the last year of that happening, and he was a bass player with a distortion pedal. And so we were like, oh, well, we're gonna be heavy.
It was a fuzz
anyways.
pedal, Dale. Let's be accurate.
Was it a fuzz pedal at that time? You were way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And so that was that was the beginning of 2017 that we changed the name, met Mike Nash, who would go on to produce our first album, and things seemed to be pretty clear from that point on that we would not be a funk band after all.
Dale immediately went out and bought way more pedals.
I just lost my mind after that point.
I think when we were a funk band, all you had was a wah.
I had a wah and I had a delay because we played a John Butler trio song one time, and I was like, "Oh, I know what I need."
Yeah.
Thought you said a WAP there for a second.
No, wah.
Oh, WA. Oh, yeah. Okay.
W-A.
Yeah.
We already had those.
Yeah. If we had the WAP like 5 years ago, we would be much further along than we are now.
True.
Oh, okay. I thought
that was it. End of story.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, I mean, we met Nash. We went on to have a little bit of a pre-production week with him in Spencer's cabin in 2017, and that just put us on the path of making the music that I think we actually wanted to, but we kept You know what? This is gonna sound douchey no matter how I say it, so I'll say it the first way I was going to. We kept upping the ante for ourselves.
You're right.
And,
That does sound douchey.
Thanks, man. But we just realized that we kept sort of upping the standards for ourselves. So it was about a year later that we actually got to get back into a recording setup with Nash and record the album. So it took us quite a while after that, but we wrote Sink In and a couple of other songs that we that are now relegated to just being live songs, and went out to go record a 3-song demo with Nash that turned into recording 12 songs, and then we only cut one, so lucky us.
Which one did we cut?
The one about pills, I can't remember what we
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to call that.
Yeah, I forgot about that song.
Yeah.
I think we all
what-
did.
Good thing you answered that question, because that was very like, I was like relearning about our own band as you were going
Yeah.
through that. I was like,
I
what-
think
don't even
Ronnie
remember what happened.
wanted me to tell the same chronological version of it when I was on his thing like last week, so I was just
Okay.
fortunate.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
practiced
watched that. I'm like, oh, I remember that happened.
Yeah.
What an exciting
Oh,
story.
yeah.
So who came up with the name?
That was a joint effort. That was we all I really wanted the word or the letter X in front of the name for some reason. And I think we all just jointly managed to tie it together and make it give ourselves a good reason for having X in front of the name, because Omerta, the mob term that I learned from a Lamb of God song, and I think that's where everybody learned it,
Oh yeah.
was it was just our way of saying kind of talking about sticking to the family of music, sticking to working with just us three at that time, and then that has slowly branched out into our unique way of writing and working and touring and everything with a very small group of people that we feel like we can be 100% candid with, and they, I think, have grown to feel that way with us. And so yeah, it's just been about not letting outside voices have too much of a say in what we do, because I think what we do is pretty cool.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because Omerta is Italian for Code of Silence.
That's the
Mhm.
definition of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So then wouldn't the Ex Omerta be like
No more Code of Silence.
no more Code of Silence?
Yeah.
If you read them both together that way, it sounds like that. But at the time,
Yeah.
We're also a very loud band.
Yeah, my justification for that little thing was, we're like super loud and obnoxious on stage.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if
Yeah.
they see through this logic, it
Yeah.
still works. It just
yeah.
depends on who we're talking to. So good job, guys. You solved the puzzle.
And I'm an idiot. Sweet.
Join the club.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.